If you find yourself overwhelmed with guilt every time you try to take a day off or even just relax from doing work, then stay tuned to this week's episode because we are talking about how to push past boss guilt. Welcome back, Mind Body Babes. If you are new here, I am Alisha Robertson and I am the founder of Mind Body Brand. And here we encourage women entrepreneurs to prioritize rest while they're building their businesses and managing the chaos of daily life. So I want you to picture this scenario with me. You have worked all day long at your 9-to-5 job. You have taken meetings, you have answered dumb questions, you have completed your projects plus the other team members' projects, and even maybe on your lunch break, you find yourself scrolling through your email and trying to knock off a couple of business tasks before you go back into work. You work from 9 to 5 all day long, answering questions in meetings, completing projects, and just trying to keep up with the company morale. Finally, at the end of the day, you get to go home. But when you get home, your day isn't over just yet. Actually, it's just getting started. So you go home and all of a sudden you have to feed you have to feed your family, you have to feed the dog, you have to feed the cat, you have to do homework, you have to help with homework, you have to wash clothes, you have to give baths, you have to talk to your spouse, you have to make sure that your house isn't a hot mess. And as soon as that part of your evening is over, now it's time for you to finally put in some real hours in your business. So you probably stay up for the majority of the night answering more emails, scheduling more calls, completing more projects for your own business. It's a lot. It's a lot for anyone to handle. So when you finally get your beloved day off, you get on the couch, you grab your comfy blanket, you find something to fall asleep watching on Netflix. And as soon as you get cozy and warm, all of a sudden the thoughts start roaming in your head. And those little thoughts start to tell you, you should be working on your business, right? Or you're being lazy. You should get up. You don't deserve to rest. You're not where you want to be. And all of these negative thoughts start forming in your head. And now you feel guilty. You feel guilty for finally taking a day off, for finally relaxing, for finally focusing on just you. And you know what happens when that guilt kicks in? You end up propped up on your couch with your laptop open, working. And your whole me day has been gone because of guilt. I want all of us to push past guilt, specifically boss guilt. So what is boss guilt? So boss guilt is the emotional conflict experienced by women entrepreneurs who feel a sense of guilt or selfishness when prioritizing rest and self-care over the relentless demands of their business and personal responsibility. Boss guilt stems from societal expectations, the pressure to constantly hustle, and the internalized belief that taking time for oneself is incompatible with being a successful entrepreneur. This is what many of us often feel, and myself included. And even though I've spent a really long time trying to heal from the burnout and the PTSD that burnout caused, there are still some times when I feel like I don't deserve to rest, or I haven't worked hard enough to rest. And I want you to make that mindset shift that rest isn't something that you have to earn. And I really want more women entrepreneurs specifically, because we are the ones who are starting these businesses, but we're also often the default parent. We're the ones managing the household. We're the ones running all of the errands. We're the ones trying to keep up with our social life. So I really want all of us to shift our mindset from believing that rest is unproductive to believing that rest is an everyday part of our life. So how do you begin to actively push past that boss guilt? Let's talk about it. So first, know that you're not doing any wrong. So according to the dictionary, guilt means the fact of having committed a specified or implied offense or crime. Basically, guilt means that you've possibly done something wrong. So when you feel guilty about resting or taking a nap or taking some time for yourself, in your mind, you're believing that what you're doing is wrong. It's not wrong. And I know that sounds a lot easier said than done, but it really is a mindset shift that you have to make, that resting is not a bad thing. And I know capitalism has made us believe that if you aren't working that you're doing something wrong, but that really is a shift that we have to make if we don't want to keep flowing in and out of burnout. So if you do feel like, that is something that you're doing wrong, then I really do encourage you to dig a little bit deeper into why rest feels bad and digging a little bit deeper into why this guilt is coming up for you. I always talk about therapy. Therapy has brought up a lot of things from like my past and my childhood of that I didn't even realize of why I feel guilty about resting. It could be maybe because you've seen your parents never rest, so you equate rest to like just not being existent. Or maybe you've had someone in your life tell you that you were lazy when you were taking time for rest. So if you ever feel guilty, just know that you're not doing something wrong. Guilt is for people who have robbed someone. Guilt is for people who have lied to someone that they love. Guilt is not for people who are taking time out for themselves. The second thing that you can do to begin pushing past boss guilt is to enforce boundaries around yourself. Yes, we talk about enforcing boundaries around your family members, your spouse, your children, your friends, the people at work, but enforce boundaries around yourself. So if you get to the point where you are relaxed in your home, finally ready to take a deep breath, and you're tempted to get onto your laptop, take your laptop and put it in another room so that you don't get up and go get it. If you are someone who is always stuck on their phone, always checking emails, remove the notifications from your phone so that you're not tempted to check emails when you should be spending time for yourself. If you are someone who usually will work until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning instead of getting that necessary sleep that you need, then have the internet scheduled to where it will cut off at a certain time. I've heard people doing that with their kids so that you can't access the internet. So it's like you're forcing yourself to quit work and go to bed. So focus on putting some boundaries, just not around the people who are in your life, but putting some boundaries around yourself so that you are limiting the distractions that are really teasing you and making you feel like you should be working when you really should be resting. The third way to begin pushing past boss guilt is to shift your perception. So I'm sure you see all of these entrepreneurs online who are like, hustle hard, sleep when you're dead. I never take a break. I never take a vacation. If you want to be successful, you have to work 80% of your day. That's bullshit. I'm gonna be real with you. It is. Most of those people who are claiming to be these high 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure earners who are talking about hustling 24 hours a day, you know what they have that you don't have? They have a team. They have a team who is probably doing the bulk of the work behind the scenes and that are doing the work so that they have time to come online and make it seem like you're doing something wrong if you're not working as hard as them. So I want you to shift your perception because the internet can be foolish. We know social media can be foolish and it can make us believe something that is not even real. So the majority of those people who are talking about hustling, 80% of your day and sleeping when you're dead, a lot of those people have teams. So they're probably not even really working as hard as it may seem. And if they are, I guarantee you their quality of life is trash. I guarantee you that they are miserable. And no amount of money can change that. No amount of money can change if you are genuinely miserable with your life. So shift your perception. And this is one of the reasons why I created our Rooted community, because I really wanted to create a space where women entrepreneurs could have real conversations about how they are making time for rest, how they are making time for work, and how both of these things are like fitting together. And I wanted for us to have real, honest conversations about that, because you can't trust everything that you see on Instagram or on TikTok or anywhere on the internet. So you really do have to shift your perception and just remember that they're only showing you the highlight reel. They know that by shouting loud and saying that you should be hustling 24/7, and if you want to be successful, then you shouldn't sleep. They know that type of stuff goes viral. They know that type of stuff generates clicks, it generates noise, it generates conversations. Hell, we're talking about them right now. So that's why they keep talking about it. But I promise you, that is not their life in real life. So shift your perception. And the fourth thing that you can begin doing to push past boss guilt is to practice self-compassion. Yes, you are an entrepreneur. You may be a mom, you may be a caregiver, you may be the marketing manager at your 9-to-5 job, but you are more than just those titles. You are a human being, and humans need rest. And I need for you to remember that in order for you to serve the people that you have been placed on this earth to serve, your family, your friends, your church community, your 9-to-5 job, in order for you to thrive in every other aspect of your life, you have to be well. You cannot continue to give everyone else and everything else your all if you are not constantly filling up your cup. So I want you to practice self-compassion, and not in just a way where you're saying, oh, I do deserve rest, but then you keep pushing it off a little bit longer. No, I want you to say, I am going to rest in this moment because I need to rest. Not because you deserve it. You do deserve it, but not because you've earned it, but because it is a requirement for you to not only be a fantastic entrepreneur, but for you to also be a fantastic mother, a fantastic friend, a fantastic employee, and every other thing that you have on your plate of responsibilities. You have to take care of you first. So please practice some self-compassion. Whenever you are laying down to finally take a nap, to finally get your rest, and you begin to feel guilty for it, no. Tell yourself, I need this. In this moment, this is what I need. And I am going to give myself what I need, and everything else is going to wait. It can wait. So practice that self-compassion, and just remember, you cannot keep giving if you're not giving to yourself. So I know that these are, again, a lot easier said than done, and it's not something that you can change quickly overnight, but it's something you can work at. It's something where you can incrementally get there to the point where you don't feel any guilt at all. And that is our mission here at Mind Body Brand, is to help more women entrepreneurs like you to prioritize rest and begin pushing past that boss guilt. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to do the next time you feel boss guilt? And thank you all so much for listening to this week's, or watching this week's episode. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and I will check you out next week.